Hi, I've come here to a garden in St. Peter's Church in St. Albans that I usually come to in the spring and summer, and yes, it is spring. So I'm here. It has been a bit colder, but tonight is pretty good. Yesterday it was raining, but tonight is pretty good. What I want to do is read the story that I put on the Medium account about my daughter. One, because a friend of mine said that she couldn't quite get it, and I thought, well, I better read it to her. Well, what's the time and get on with it. So, it's a story entitled This is My Beloved Daughter, in whom I'm well pleased. For some years, I wrote people's stories. The readers were magistrates and judges because I came to write their stories because they'd come to a place in their story that brought them to the attention of the courts. I only do one take, so when I get it wrong, you see it. It often felt like we were starting with the ending and telling the story backwards. The story usually told what had happened in their lives that led to the act that brought them before a court. On one occasion, I said to a young woman, "So, what's your story?" And she sang her response, which was used in the children's TV program, "What's the Story in Balamory? What's the story today?" So it goes something like, "What's the story in Balamory? What's the story today?" And there is a YouTube clip of it if you want to look for Balamory, uh, place in a Scottish island for people outside of the UK and Ireland. I do think we could all benefit from having our stories written. We need not have committed an act that brought us to the attention of the court. We could simply stop right now and tell the story of how we got to this place. C's 18th birthday is today. Well, clearly not today, but on the 5th of April it was. And over this past 6 weeks or so, I've been going through old photograph albums and selecting photos for a book I compiled. That little laugh was nearly fell off this seat. Curiously, the albums stop around 2010 as digital cameras became mainstream and mobile phones doubled up as cameras. So then I had to scroll through loads of photos on computers and select the ones I wanted and print them and insert them into the book. I bought one of those baby books before she was born to log details of her growth and first years. It was soon filled, and then I bought a couple of scrapbooks and I filled them with tickets to children's classic concerts, zoos, holidays, and that sort of thing. I so wanted her to know her own story. This was probably motivated by my own need to know my own story, to know my own early years story. And we're talking about from, well, the womb until about 3, because that I don't remember. I have my Starsky, which is the only toy I retained from childhood, as in Starsky and Hutch. And again, a YouTube clip will show those that don't remember Starsky and Hutch. Each day of C's life was important, as was my ability to be a father, her father. The two were inextricably linked. Her story was my story. I wanted to tell her her story, well, at least the bits that she wouldn't have the recall. And you know, the more important story that I wanted to communicate was how much she was loved. The reason? I believe to know that one is loved is the most powerful force in all the world. Whatever may come against you, knowing that you are loved will carry you. And I'm going to do an Americanism here and say it again. Whatever may come against you, knowing that you are loved will carry you. And I could ask you to repeat it yourself, but I'll leave that up to you. Whatever may come against you, knowing that you are loved will carry you. I had the privilege of knowing the love of the Father from an early age. Though as a child, young person, I missed being told I was loved by a human voice. Do you notice how much I do this with my nose? Knowing that I wanted to do everything in my power to tell C that she was and is loved. I believe it's a divine position to be the parents of a child, and in that position, you can call out the potential of your child. If not, I truly hope that the child hears the voice of the Father who will call them himself. Now, you may think I'm crazy, and these videos kind of suggest that I might be, but as she wanted me to take a zillion photos on her phone on her birthday, in the middle of it, I said to her, and I should just say it was a beautiful day. I don't know whether I was more aware of it because it was her birthday, but the sun was really, well, what does the sun do with shine? But everything seemed so brilliant and beautiful, and me and her were just standing in the gardens near where we live, or where we live, and yeah, it was just one of those beautiful moments. Anyway, in the middle of it, as we're taking these photographs, I say, as Jesus came up from his baptism, a dove landed on his head, and a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." As we bathe in this glorious sunshine and beautiful day, I too say on this your 18th birthday, "This is my beloved daughter, in whom I am well pleased." C doesn't pay much attention and returns to posing. But I know words are powerful and love is more powerful. And one day she will recall these words as she looks in those photographs. Thank you. See ya.